2003 stacks. I did it. I have the rest of the month on the back of the paper, but I wanted to show you some important things. On here, I have some things highlighted. On here for the second, you remember that's when we got our 11. So the highlighted numbers are the pairs after we got, it's the doubles after we got our 11. But I'll explain it to you as a little bit more people come in. So I'll wait a minute. Hopefully, we could get through this today with it being clear and they're not cutting my video off like they did last time, or the technical difficulties when they see that you reaching one and teaching one. But it comes with the platform, so there's no reason to complain over spoiled milk or wasted milk. But all I do over here is teach a little math, some addition, some subtraction, and I show you what I see with my visual. Nothing more, nothing less. So I'll wait a little bit more to see if anybody else will come in. If not, I'll talk to myself and eventually someone will watch it and understand it, understanding what I'm saying. And I also noticed that I've been telling y'all to go to Lottery Post, but I went to Lottery Post in 2023 for Michigan, and their June, they deleted it. So if you don't get it the same month or whatever, or the prior month, then they delete it for you. But what you can do, you can go somewhere like on I think one of the apps for Michigan or whatever the state is, and it should tell you the numbers that came prior, and just do your rundown. So let me get to this real quick. So remember, our June 2003 numbers can be used for June 2004. So on the first, these will be your dates in circles. It tells you what that date is and what numbers came out. So on the first, we got 689 midday. We got 131 eve, 6202 midday. Let me see, 0728 eve. So as we look into the stack, you remember I told you see what numbers are missing from your stack and put those in red at the bottom. So we had our 0, we had our 1, we had our 2, we had our 3, but 4 was missing. So you put your first missing digit, which is the 4, at the bottom. Then you go back in. Do you see a 5 in here? No. So your next missing digit will be a 5. You go back in, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they gave us the rest of the numbers. So you go next door to the second. You remember this when they gave us our first 11. So that's why purple, letting you know that's when we got our first 11. So on the second, they gave us 461 midday, 305 eve, 4917 mid, 8485 eve. Now, if you look at this, you remember I told you our date sum, they will be intelligent to make it darker than the rest of the numbers. And I got the date sum because the day was June 6th. The date was the first. 6 plus 1 is 7. So your date sum will be a 2 and a 7. And that's why the 2 and 7 is darkened in. Now with the 0, you remember I told you Michigan likes zeros. So that's why my 0 is darkened in right there. So with this, numbers are my 3 and my 8. Why? Because 6 plus 6 for June, the second for June, 6 and 2 is 8. So you 3 and 8 will be your date sum. That's why it's highlighted or darkened in. And you know already why my 0 1, but they didn't give us a 2. So that's why down here my 2 is darkened in. They gave us a 3. They gave us a 4. They gave us a 5. They gave us a 6. They gave us a 7. They gave us two 8s actually, and they gave us a 9. So as you can see, the number of missing digits will vary. You see, we started off with 2 missing, and then they pulled up that 4. They grabbed that 4 up, and they grabbed that 5 up to put in the digits for the prior hit next day. So they did use that 5 is no longer missing. They did come and get that 4 for midday and eve, and for eve right here. But really, they grabbed that 4 that was missing for midday. They grabbed that 4 that was missing for the 4 digit for Michigan, and they grabbed that 4 that was missing for the E 4 digit hit for Michigan. They grabbed that 5 for 305 for E for Michigan. So you see, they will grab them up real fast, and sometimes they'll travel to other dates, and I'll show you some examples with it. So now, they gave us 461, so I go in here, and 461 was right here, and that's why I marked it off. They gave us 305. Look, 305 was right there in the prior hits. So that's why I say always go back to your prior date to see where your hits are coming from. They didn't give us our midday or even a 4 digit, but they did give us our midday and eve for the 3 digit. So let me walk you next door. You remember I told you this is highlighted because that's the first double after that 11, and that's the second double after that 11. So let's go into it. On the third, they gave us 775 for midday, 554 for eve, 0270 for mid, 3448 for eve, and then let's go and see exactly what numbers wasn't in there. They gave us a 0. They actually gave us 2. You remember I said Michigan actually like zeros, and that it will be frequently in our hits. They didn't give us a 1 because there's no 1 in here. So that's why my first digit is a 1 in red. They gave us a 2. They gave us a 3. They gave us a 4. They gave us a 5. They gave us a 7. They gave us an 8, but they didn't give us a 9. 9 is 169. It came in 3 digit, or they could grab a few numbers from here, and we'll see what they did on the fourth. So they grabbed that 461. It was also next door. Look, 461 was right there. That 305, it was in there as well. 305 was right there. So they got it from the first, and they got it from the third as well. Our 4917 was in there. 4917 was right there. 49, the 1 from the missing, and the 7 from the 4 digit. So you could either go to prior dates for the prior numbers, or you could look and they could possibly pull it for the next day number, which that is new. I never seen anything like that. So we're learning together. So let's go to the fourth. They gave us 326, 882, which is highlighted because that's your other double, or that's one of your doubles after this 11. So we got 1, 2, 3 doubles thus far after that 11. And then they gave us 4138, 2988. So you go back in and look and see what numbers are missing. They didn't give us any zeros in here, so my 0 was originally in red, but I darkened it in because Michigan likes zeros. And then I went back in 1, 2, 3, 4. They didn't give us a 5, so I marked it down here, and it was in red. But 0 is the mirror of 5. I know a lot of people don't like to use mirror numbers, and some people don't like using mirror numbers and teach it, but I learned that way, so it's just a hard thing that it's hard for me to break and stop doing. But they gave us a 6. They didn't give us a 7, so I dropped a 7, and then they gave us 1, 2, 3, 5 8s and 1 9. So we move next door, and then you will see if you saw your 326 or 882, and you can still go back to these dates and see if you see them. So I wanted to show you something. Someone was asking, and also look, they gave us 2 missing numbers. They gave us 1 missing number. They gave us 3 missing numbers. They gave us 3 missing numbers. They gave us 2 missing numbers, but right here on the 6, they gave us 4 missing numbers. So that's why I said the missing numbers can vary. After they gave us that 4, they gave us 2, and then they gave us 1. So someone asked me what happens when all the numbers are in the stack. It's a reset. That means no numbers are missing from the stack. And let me show you why. They was a 2, they gave us a 9. So nothing was missing. Usually when you have this on the 15th on midday, what did they do? They gave us double twos, 232. You see? So they did what they were supposed to do. Let's go in. They gave us a 0. They gave us a 1. They gave us a 2. They gave us a 3. They gave us a 4. They gave us a 5. They gave us a 6. They gave us a 7. They gave us an 8. And they gave us a 9. So they reset the board twice. They was on some foolery. So let's see what they gave us after that. After that, they gave us just a regular number. For midday, they didn't give us doubles like they did off the first reset, and they just gave us regular numbers. But they did kind of give us doubles in the 4 digit. So it varies on what your state would do. So after that reset, we still got these doubles from when we got that 11. So for I think the 11 on the second, they gave us 707. 7X was the double. They gave us 585. 55X was the double. And then we moved next door. They gave us 883, which was that double still off the 11 from the second. And as you can see right here, we only had one missing digit, but they pulled it right up the next day. They used it for Eve. So let's see right here. They had a 2 6 missing. What did they? 2 and a Eve hit. As you can see, your red numbers are always going to end up back in the stack, or they can travel. What I mean by traveling would be right here. You see on the 21st, we had a 6 and a 9 was missing. But what did they give us on the 22nd? They gave us a 5, a 6, and a 7. So that 6 traveled from the 21st to the 22nd. Right here on the 22nd, they gave us a 5, 6, 7 missing. That 7 went to traveling from the 22nd to the 23rd because what numbers were missing? 0 was missing, a 2 was missing, and a 7 was missing. So watch these traveling numbers because they could travel more than one time. So on the 23rd, they gave us 027. You see the 0 right here? What did it do? So, so they will pick up these numbers that's missing, but you don't know which drawer they're going to put it in, or are they going to travel them digits, or are they going to give us a double from the 0, dumb digits, traveling digits. So as you see my notes on the side, I said a 6 was traveling from the 20th to the 21st, and they picked up that 7 on the 24th midday. That was traveling. So, as you can see, that 0 is still traveling. It started traveling on the 23rd. It traveled the 23rd. It traveled the 24th. And it traveled to the 25th. Hopefully, y'all seen that. And our 4 and our 7 was missing. So, what they do, they traveled that 7. And they picked up that 0 that was traveling for 3 days and put it in our midday number. That 7 traveled from the 25th, 26th to the 26th. Okay, you see on the 26th, our 5 and our 7 was missing. What did they do? That 5 traveled to the 27th. Congratulations! That 5 traveled from the 26th to the 27th, and that was one day later. Let's see what they did. You see, they didn't pick it up. Instead of picking it up, they reset the board again and then gave us E11. So you got to watch them. They be on that foolery. And the board reset. Why? Because nothing was missing. Let's check behind myself. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They gave us all the numbers in there. So nothing was missing. So they reset the board on the 28th. And on the 29th, they gave us regular numbers. But they did give us doubles for the Eve. That's what's up. I know triples is most definitely on the route for Michigan. I want to say six and 555, but I still got to do some more stuff today. But I was trying to relax. Hey y'all, look at this. You see the 29th, the 0, 2, and 9 was missing. What did they do? They traveled both of those numbers together. 0, 2, and a 9 traveled to the next day. I want to say I see quads for Michigan. I see 0, 0, 0 for Michigan. It was supposed to come on the 31st, but I think Iowa got it first. So hopefully it'll travel on down to Michigan, and that would be awesome. But yeah, y'all see that sometimes numbers can travel by itself, or sometimes numbers can have a partner with it. So 0 and 2 traveled together on the 30th, and they probably picked it both up for July, but July 1st. But this is how you do y'all stacks. And if you do a complete stack, you'll be able to see exactly what they're doing. You'll be able to say, okay, my state did this, or my state repeated this, or I see them doubles after that 11, or my state reset, and see how many resets you had and see what happened after your reset and see what did they bring after your reset. Or it's so many things that you can do with this rundown. And you remember all my darkened numbers are my date sums. So you can see what was around it, and you could even go in if you want to and see where your hits came from. How many days did it take for them to grab that hit? Or how many days did it take for them to pull the missing numbers into the hits for the prior day? So it's so much that you can do with these rundowns. So I would suggest, since probably lottery posts don't have your states no more for June 2023, I would suggest that you start your stats off from June 1st so that it could be used for June 2025. But this is how you do your stats, and this is how you look for your hits. And as I said, always check prior days, because today is the first and they got the hits from the 31st. So tomorrow is the second. So they'll probably be using this to get their hits from the second. So hopefully y'all enter and understand, and y'all will do y'all stats. If you can get the lottery post results from 2023 June, that will be awesome. But if you can't, I just suggest that you start your stacks over for June 2021 and use it for prior years. Hopefully you understand, and congratulations to everyone that has hit while being here and learning some of these methods and learning how to do rundowns on your own. And that's awesome. I'm so proud of you guys. That's what determination gets you. So I salute that in everyone and acknowledge it as well.